Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Allison and today I'm sharing with you a new scrapbooking layout. This layout was created for a challenge that is happening as part of an online crop that Scrapbook Nerd is hosting this weekend. It starts today. It actually started this morning and I'm hosting one of the challenges as part of the crop. And the challenge open today. It'll be open until the 19th, I believe. I will double check that, but I will leave all the info in the description box down below. So if you want to participate and check it out, you know where to go. My challenge for the Scrapbook Nerd online crop this weekend was to scrap lift yourself. So I went through my older layouts, chose one that I really liked and wanted to make over again, and that's what I did. In the original layout, I had a heart similar to this that was die cut with my Cricut, and it was on the larger side, so I replicated that, but this time I hand stitched the heart. And unlike the original, I decided to use pattern paper as my layout base instead of a solid piece of cardstock, just white cardstock. And I also decided to add some splatter mixed media to the background as well in the same shape as the heart. And it uses essentially all the same colors in the layout, or in the rest of the layout, I should say. So I used Close to My Heart Raspberry Reinker, all reinkers to create my splatter. So raspberry, sage, and peach colors is what I used to make the splatter, and I didn't dilute it with water. I just dribbled some on my craft mat, dipped my paintbrush into it, and then splattered away. So right now I'm just working on assembling the floral die cuts that are going to be added to the heart. It cut in a few different pieces, I guess, so I'm just piecing it all together and gluing it using liquid glue, and then it's going to be placed on top of the heart. You can see I'm doing that right now. I also decided to pull in some floral ephemera. It came from a Paper Issues scrapbooking kit. I couldn't tell you what kit it came from, but to me they look a lot like Pink Fresh. I could be wrong. I really don't know where they came from, but I'm going out on a limb to say that there may be Pink Fresh Studio. And they got tucked underneath the heart at the bottom and at the top. So the bottom left and the top right. And I thought it just helped add some depth to this particular layout. The other similarity to my original layout is these striped hearts. The striped hearts that I used in the original were bigger than these ones. So I shrank these ones down and made them smaller. And then I'm just fussy cutting them out after I adhered them to white cardstock, just so that stuff in the background doesn't peek through. They will be sprinkled around the page as embellishments when the main part of the layout is complete. So right now I'm just working on my title. The main part of the title is often, the word often. I cut it with my Cricut as well from a piece of paper from a 6x6 mini pad that I have in my stash. I think it's really old My Mind's Eye paper. I'm using my ruler just to help me keep the title straight. And then I'm also going to add a subtitle. I decided to stamp the subtitle, and originally I tried stamping it directly to the layout base. You saw me doing that just now, but it got lost behind the pattern that's already on the layout base. So I decided to stamp that portion of the title again on scrap white cardstock, and I'm going to trim them down into little strips or like tiles. I'm also inking the edges of them so that the white doesn't blend into the white of the background. There's lots of white going on in this layout, which is totally fine with me. I love my white. But I wanted these to stand out just a little bit more. So I inked the edges using toffee ink from my stash, and I used foam squares to pop them up just to create a little bit more dimension and bring them more to attention so they have more of a presence. I'm adding my photo right now. It's a picture of our modest little fire pit that we have in our backyard. Well, that we have. We do not utilize it very often, though I wish we did. We've had it for as long as we've been married. I'm pretty sure it was a wedding gift, but we don't use it often enough. And this layout is just talking about that basically. The last time we used our little fire pit was for Father's Day last year. And I think it's lonely. I think it needs to be used a little bit more often. So I wanted to share that story and then tie into that story what we did for Father's Day last year because of COVID. So that's essentially what this layout is about. I did mat the photo to some pattern paper and cardstock, I believe. They were also cut to 2 by 2 inches, the same size as the picture. And then I just adhered them kind of wonky behind the picture so you could still see them poking out from behind it. I added my journaling strips. I'm adding a little bit of sparkle to the heart and the centers of the flowers. And with that, this layout is complete. If you want to check out the online crop that Scrapbook Nerd is hosting, I will leave the link in the description box down below. And if you want to play along, I really encourage you to do that. Prizes are up for grabs at the end of the crop, and you're not going to want to miss out on it. Thanks for joining me, friends. I'll be back again soon. Bye.